Hello, and welcome to episode 34 of Dinner from the Dining Car. Today, we're going to be doing the Great Northern Railroad's minced beef with fresh mushrooms. This is basically served, and it's served on toast. Basically, what you have here is a stepped up chipped beef on toast with good quality meat, and you're going to also be making an Espagnole sauce. Espagnole sauce, that's Spanish for brown sauce. So here's what you got. Oh, by the way, today is Sunday, July 11th, 2021. Happy whatever. Here's what you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need your meat. Now, the recipe calls for tenderloin. However, getting a beef tenderloin in this area is right now is limited and expensive. So I'm going to be using tri-tip instead, because tri-tip also shreds very nicely. And you have to shred your tri-tip. You got about 2 pounds here. You have to shred it for the recipe, so that's going to be fun. You're going to need, get her out of the bag here, 1 green pepper. You're going to dice that up. You're going to need 1 onion. Now, I prefer to use white onions. You could use yellow onions if that's your thing. You could also use a Vidalia onion if you want it a little sweeter. You're going to use most of this for the dish, but you're going to need 1 slice for the Espagnole sauce. You're also going to need tomatoes. Now, these are Romas. You can use a standard tomato if you like. I just picked up the Romas because they're really good and firm. You're going to chop these up and put them into the meat and onions and pepper mix. You're also going to need, of course, mushrooms. These are already pre-sliced. It's an 8-ounce package. We'll probably use half of this package for this recipe. You're going to need butter. Now, this is probably going to use closer to a stick to a stick and a half of butter. Depends on how much butter you want. And you're also going to need, for the sauce, beef stock. You're going to use at least 1 cup to 1.5 cups of this to make your sauce. You're also going to need, but I don't have it down here, flour. And you will need, for the sauce, ta-da, paprika. Another thing you'll need, and I have it in my refrigerator, I don't have it out here right now, is Worcestershire sauce. Or as we like to say, what's this here sauce? There's a joke there. I'm not going to go there. But that's all the ingredients you need. So that's it for this intro for right now. And we'll be back later in the afternoon when we start cooking. Now this is going to be cooked really later in the afternoon because it's going to be upwards of 100 degrees today in Burbank, and trust me, 100 degrees, our air conditioner's dead. You do not want to cook in this kitchen in the heat. So that's it for right now, and we'll be back when we get started cooking. See you then. Okay, we're back. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so we're going to get started. We're going to make the Espagnole sauce first. We already have all the beef and the vegetables cut, the beef shredded, the vegetables cut rather large, but they're going to wait until we get the sauce done. One thing you need, stick of butter into a 2-quart saucepan. heat. While we're waiting for that butter to start melting, I'm going to get us 2 cups of beef broth of the beef stock. We may need, I think we're going to go a little more. We're going to have a little more sauce. So I think we're going to go probably about a full 3 cups. Stir it. Okay, once that butter melts, now see, if I had been smart, I would have left the butter out on the table to let it soften, so I don't have to sit here and waste time getting it to melt. You want to keep stirring it because you don't really want it to boil. Turn your pan down to a medium. Or I could have melted it in the microwave, save a little time. But no, let's do it the old-fashioned way. Alright, when I chopped the onion, I saved 1 slice and broke it into rings because that has to go into the butter. And you're going to cook that for a few minutes. That butter is going to suck down the flavor of the onions. And then you'll pull the onions back out. In the meantime, get yourself 2 to 4 tablespoons of flour. Your paprika. And your Worcestershire sauce, because you're going to need those for this sauce. Okay, now that it's boiling, just let it simmer. Until those onions get good and soft and start to break up a little bit. Now this butter should start to turn a little brown when you have it done enough. And it's starting to boil nicely. Turn it down some more because we don't want to burn it. That's the problem with butter. If you cook it at too high a temperature, you will burn it and you will ruin your sauce. Okay, it's starting to get a little less yellow and a little more brown. Okay. Just keep stirring that onion in the sauce. It's definitely picked up some smell. It's definitely picked up some onion flavor. Okay, now it's getting brown, so pull the onion back out. And there's a little piece of onion that broke off that we want to get out of there. There we go. Then you're going to add a couple of tablespoons. I need to get a whisk. I want my whisk. And dump in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of your flour. start to whisk it. Turn that down lower. And it will start to thicken up. Oh, you can definitely tell the onions in there. So all in all, we've got about 4 tablespoons of flour in that stick of butter. Continue to whisk it, and it'll start to thicken up. Yes, it's a very pretty light brown now. Let me lean the camera over here and you can see it. It's a really pretty brown now. Just keep whisking it. There we go. Now, once that starts to turn this very pretty brown color, it starts to thicken up like it's doing now, you're going to take your stock, your broth. I'm going to pour that in there as well. And then you're going to continue to whisk. And it will heat up and start to boil, and it will start to thicken up, and it's a lovely brown. It is a lovely brown sauce. Now into that, you're going to spritz in a little bit of Worcestershire, maybe a tablespoon or so. And you're going to sprinkle in paprika, maybe a teaspoon. And you're going to whisk that all together. And what you're going to do is, over a lower heat, so it doesn't burn. Remember, it's got butter in it. It'll burn if you give it the opportunity. Now, remember those onions you took out? Guess what? You're going to put them back in. And then whisk it around some more. And you're going to let this thicken up and really get the onion flavor. I gotta grab a spoon and taste this. I want to see what it tastes like. What did I do with my spoon? Let's see what we got here. Oh yes, it's starting to thicken up already. Oh my, that's good. Oh my goodness, that's good. You can taste the onions, the Worcestershire, the paprika. It all mixes well in there. Oh yes. So basically, you're going to let this come to a boil, and then you're going to shut it off because it has to sit, and then you're going to, after you do the first step of the meat and vegetables, you pour this sauce all over it, and you let it simmer in this Espagnole sauce. This, if you look at it, is turned into a really pretty brown sauce that tastes absolutely yummy. And it hasn't even boiled up yet. So, what we're going to do... Oh man, that's good. Is we are going to let this boil. And we'll come back to it when we get ready to put the whole thing together. So, we'll be back. Like I was saying, we're going to do something a little different. Sorry about the sudden blurp there. Knocked the battery off the camera. The recipe calls for it to be served on toast. We're going to do something a little different, and we're going to serve it on white rice. Naturally, because it's too hot to cook rice the correct way, I'm going to be using instant rice. So that's a microwave thing. Anyway, that's it. We're going to let this simmer, and we'll be back in about an hour, and we'll let you see it plated up. See you then. Okay, folks, everything's cooked. It's an hour later. It's about 10 minutes till 6. I'm going to right now apologize for part of the video when I knocked the battery out of the camera during the phase when I was browning the meat and the vegetables and everything. It corrupted the data file, so you're going to miss that section, unfortunately. But it's not that difficult. You brown the beef, the vegetables, the tomatoes, the peppers, the onions, the tomatoes. You just brown them until they start to get a little soft. The meat browns, the onions become translucent. Then you pour the Espagnole sauce all over it, and you turn the flame down to low and you simmer for an hour. That we've done. Now we're going to plate this up. We have a big old bowl of rice. We decided to have it on rice rather than toast because it just sounded like something we need to have on rice. So there you have that. Now I'm going to move the camera a little bit, and you can see this stuff getting scooped up onto the plate. Don't you come out of there, battery. There's the finished product. We're going to grab a ladle. This, you guys should be here to smell this because this smells insanely yummy. It also thinned out a little bit more than I expected, but we'll have to live with that. I sampled it, and it's delicious. So, I don't know if this is quite the thing we want to have on a 100-degree day, but here it is. Get lots of juice there. There you have it, guys. That's plating it up. Now you can use brown rice if that's your thing. You can use white rice like we did. But anyway, there you have it. It's all plated up, ready to serve. Again, sorry about the third stage of this video getting wiped out. I'll have to be more careful next time. In the meantime, that's it. Please, if you do me a favor, hit that like button, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. If you have questions, comments, want the recipe, email me at dinnerfromthediningcar at yahoo.com. And next week, because it's going to be awfully hot, we are probably going to be making salads and dressings and serving them with a loaf of bread. We haven't made that decision yet. It's just been too darn hot. So enjoy, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you all next time.